There we are, people. I've just watched the game in Fleet Street myself. Liverpool 2, Newcastle 0. Unfortunately, we couldn't capitalise on Fleet Street's offer. Remember, on the games that are on television, Fleet Street are offering quid drinks for the next 10 minutes after Newcastle score. But as we're aware, Newcastle didn't score tonight, and we got beat 2-0. So I'm going to jump in my taxi on the way home here and talk you through the game. 2-0 to Liverpool in a game that Newcastle didn't lay a glove on Liverpool. Now, I see a lot of people on social media worrying and threatening, thinking, oh my God, this is a nightmare, you know, this is who we're coming up against at Wembley and we've got no chance. But it has to be thought of tonight that, you know, no Isak was obviously the main blow of the evening. No Isak, and Callum Wilson leads the line for Newcastle. Newcastle's number 9, but very rusty tonight was Callum Wilson. He had a couple of really good chances in the first half. One that was offside, rightfully so. The second one, my God, the second one, he is miles onside. And he puts it miles wide, to be honest. He tries to lift it over Alisson, but he does put it wide, and it is poor from Callum Wilson. But you try and give him the benefit of the doubt because you think, well, he's rusty, you know. Someone was saying to me in the bar, what do we expect? I think he's 33 tomorrow, 32 or 33 tomorrow, Callum Wilson. Obviously, only a couple months left on his Newcastle contract. He's leading our line against Liverpool, the inevitable champions of the Premier League. You know, it's a big ask when he hasn't played in a while. You know, he's obviously been in and out of the team. He's been missing for a few months through injury, so hasn't been the best from Wilson. That finish definitely wasn't the best, since it wasn't even on target. But listen, we'll go back to the beginning. Isak not being in the team, not even being on the bench, yet he travelled with the squad, has raised a lot of eyebrows. It's raised a lot of questions, thinking, you know, was that a mind game from Eddie Howe, thinking he doesn't want to show Liverpool what Alexander Isak's about, doesn't want to show him what he's capable of come Wembley in a few weeks' time. And then you have a lot of Liverpool fans saying, well, Isak's signing for Liverpool anyways. Apparently they're offering Darwin Núñez plus cash or all these other little stipulations. Well, he didn't even feature tonight, but he did travel with the team. It was a groin issue that kept Isak out of the lineup completely. Never mind even the bench. That was a worry. When I seen the team, I thought, you know, what has Miley's been harshly done by there? You know, Miley's out of the side and Sandro Tonali steps in. He comes into the place of the young midfielder who did so well last weekend against Forest, scored obviously the equaliser at the time last Sunday at St James's. But that team, I don't know, I don't want to get too ranty, I don't want to get too carried away with that result tonight, because I know that a lot of people are seeing this as a dress rehearsal for Wembley, a run of the Carabao Cup final in a few weeks' time. But I'm not really seeing it that way, because I think Newcastle aren't seeing it that way. You know, we've obviously got a different venue for that game. It is in Wembley tonight at Anfield under the lights. It's a completely different scenario, a different game. But that being said, I'm glad that we obviously didn't get battered, that we didn't get embarrassed, because I think if we had got beat tonight 4-0, 5-0, 5-1, 4-2, whatever, when those lads were in the tunnel against each other, and Burns coming up against Salah and Lewis Hall against Salah, or, you know, Gakpo, Diaz, Szoboszlai, whoever it is, when they're lined up against those players, they will have a potential lack of self-belief or confidence. But I didn't see it tonight. I thought it was just a bit crap by Newcastle, to be honest. Really, really crap, to be honest. Poor, lacklustre. I don't think Liverpool had to get out of second gear, to be fair. I really don't think they did. You know, they were 2-0 winners in the end. They were 1-0 at half time, and they never had to really get going. They never had to push themselves. I thought we would have showed a bit more throughout the entire match. I know Newcastle had 1 or 2 chances on the break, and where Wilson's trying to judge it on onside, and Gordon, the man on the shoulder and that. But again, I mean, it wasn't as bad as Man City was a couple of weeks ago, but it was always showing this opposition a bit too much respect. Are we scared? Are we lacking belief that we're good enough to compete with the elite, compete with the best? Now, we know Liverpool have all but won the league. You know, they're 12, 13 points clear or something now. Newcastle are a couple of points off top 4. after the results this evening during the midweek Premier League fixture list, but it's, for me, I really, really hope, obviously it doesn't come to Wembley where we're lacking confidence in, you know, the ability to go for it, to think that we have the right to be there, to show the fight, to show the determination, because tonight Liverpool weren't that good. Because if they were, they would have won by 3 or 4, but they only got 2 in the end, and I think that Newcastle didn't show enough. You know, second half in particular, for the first 15 or 20 minutes, Liverpool barely touched the ball. They allowed us to come back into the play of things. They allowed us to have possession, try and create 1 or 2 openings, but we'd never really seen much happen. And we didn't threaten Alisson at all, to be honest with you, throughout the entire game. Nick Pope, it has to be said, I'm surprised it took us this long to mention it. I mean, Nick Pope for that first goal, that is abysmal. I mean, what on earth is Nick Pope doing? Maybe Dubravka's wife is right. Maybe she's right, you know, life isn't fair, because, I mean, Nick Pope taking his place. And I said maybe it's a good call before the Forest game, but it's not now. It isn't. I think we need to just forget about all the keepers we've got and just concentrate on the summer with Trafford coming in. Hopefully. That's meant to be our first signing. And just cancel out Pope, cancel out Dubravka, because that is woeful. I mean, what the hell is Dubravka doing? I mean, sorry, Pope, what the hell is Pope doing? You hope Dubravka would do better, I'm sure he would, but what on earth is Dubravka doing where he's nowhere near it? It creeps underneath him. It's pathetic goalkeeping, and that would be a real concern, a real worry going into the final, to be honest, if Nick Pope was goalkeeping like that. And now he's been out for a few months with injuries, but he was terrible, absolutely terrible. And defensively themselves, you know, Shaw looking slow again, and Tonali was trying to make things happen in the middle of the park, nip in between things, but again he was winning it but then losing it. And Newcastle on the break just weren't convincing either. I thought, you know, there's an opportunity here. If Gordon was up to it, he could make things happen. Murphy was giving the ball away and stuff, and obviously Wilson up top, who hadn't played for a while, and he was mentioned earlier in the video, you know, judging the lines, judging the decisions of when to run, when not to run, and just wasn't on it the day. And we made about 4 changes at once, to be honest, you know, Trippier, Sula, Barnes, Miley, all coming on, but all without minimal impact from every single one of them. Masula, did he even touch the ball? Did William Masula even touch the ball? You know, and it's in Anfield, it's against Liverpool, the inevitable Premier League champions, but it's just poor tonight, man. We just didn't threaten enough, didn't challenge enough, didn't fight enough, and didn't show enough. I'm disappointed with that, like, but yeah, the main thing is obviously Wembley in a few weeks' time against this same team, but in a cup final. So we're holding something close to our chest, is Eddie Howe keeping his cards close to himself, where he's thinking, you know, I'm going to keep Isak for this, I'm going to play Tonali there, I might bring on Miley. We'll wait and see, we'll hope so. But that was poor tonight from Newcastle. If we play, I'll be absolutely devastated if we play that in the final, because it'll simply not be good enough and we'll be miles apart. I see a lot of people freaking out tonight, worrying, panicking, saying, oh, Liverpool, you're pointless going to Wembley, we're going to get battered. I wouldn't go that far just yet, because I think I hope it'll be a different story then, with it not being at Anfield, with hopefully Isak being fit. But we're going to have a big appearance in the big turnout, because even the second gear Liverpool side quite comfortably beat Newcastle tonight. It was poor from us, it really was. Didn't do enough, didn't show enough, didn't believe enough. So that's the worry going to Wembley, but hopefully it's a different story then, and they do have the confidence heading into that massive Carabao Cup final in a few weeks. It's not the end of the world for Newcastle. We've lost 2-0, but you go to Anfield, I mean, we haven't won there since the 90s. We're a couple of points off the top 4, but we're also only a few points off top 10. So it's close, it's tight for those European positions. But yeah, the dress rehearsal hasn't went well for Wembley, but hopefully Isak will be back and the game plan will be different for that Carabao Cup final. Drop your thoughts below, everyone, what you made of today's game. Let us know if you made that trip to Anfield, respect to the travelling to Norway that did do that midweek visit to Liverpool. Subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next one.